Today's episode is brought to you by Crescent Plumbing Supply. Head to 6614 Olive just north of the Del Mar Loop and check out their new incredible showroom. With sales and design reps ready to help and a knowledgeable service desk ready to get that part for the fix you need, it will be a pleasure. Check out crescentsupply.com for inspiration, and when you head there, don't forget to mention Soccer Dad Pod for that discount. All three of us soccer dads jumped in a fully charged EV, headed to Springfield, Missouri, and checked out Missouri State versus St. Louis University men's soccer. While these two heavyweights went head-to-head, we brought on some familiar names for all of you Bears out there, including the one and only Coach Leamy. Let's go. What's up, boys?
Oh, man. What a night.
Chomping at the bit.
Oh, my gosh. I'm as excited as this AR right here.
Soccer Dad Pod. We're back, people. I played this one for you, Jared.
We thank you.
He is the greatest. If you had to judge the greatest based on how many pictures they have in their former college locker room, Jared is the greatest.
Yeah, okay.
We are
in a different era, different time.
Hey, legacy, man.
You like that? Hall of Fame right there for you. Soccer Dad Pod. We are, as you can probably hear and tell, we're on the road again. This time we're at the alma mater of the J-Rod Bertrand.
We folks,
and me.
Oh, and Zachary.
Oh, yeah.
Zachary Lewis went here too. He was in the Baritones. They
I don't have my name on a wall anywhere. Oh no, I do actually have my name on a wall, but
really
not my picture. Well, no, I do have my picture on the wall too.
It's on the men's bathroom
the Bear Club
in Jordan Creek. They so folks, we are at Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium, home of your Missouri State Bears. We're playing St. Louis University today, Interstate. The two top marquee universities of amateur soccer that Missouri has to offer are going. And, folks, this is the first time the Billikens have ever traveled to Springfield, if you can believe that. And I'm stoked.
16 matches between the two teams. Never have they played here in Springfield.
No, it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about the facility. We're going to talk about the programs. We're going to talk about the rosters. We're going to talk about the history. We've got a number of guests coming on that have played /coach / engaged the program over the years. So we're going to have some fun today. Real quick, I want to throw out a thank you to our friends of the show, Crescent Plumbing Supply. Appreciate all that you do. And for those of you that are listening, pop up there on the Olive Boulevard north of the Loop. Check out the showroom. Go get that kitchen and bath lined up. Crescent Plumbing Supply. Go to crescentplumbingsupply.com. Get some inspiration, then go shop. And when you go there, mention Soccer Dad podcast, and they're going to give you a discount. And that stuff is extremely expensive, so you are welcome. Lot of stuff going on in the world of soccer these days, guys. High school's been killing it. Our last episode, we had some fun out there at Liberty for the St. Louis High School Champions League. Been following that. We're approaching districts. College soccer's in full blow, as apparent, with us here. We were talking about watching it on the ride up here. The Michigan State friend of ours, Coach Rensing, and his Spartans played Wolverines last night.
Yeah, 0-0 tie up in Michigan, between Michigan State and Michigan.
So you got college soccer banging. You've got Champions League. We pull into town. We got Champions League all over every TV.
Well, congrats to St. Dominic. I had to give another prop to one of Jared's alma maters in winning the Champions League.
This is like
the inaugural Champions League.
I think I'm going to title this episode Jared Stroke episode.
Was there any discussion or was there any doubt that they wouldn't win?
Well, DeSmet looked pretty good. I mean, with the brothers on the DeSmet midfield, I thought they had a chance, but a 2-0 win at Creve Coeur
1-0
Park.
with a second goal with 2 seconds left.
It's still 2-0 on the score line. Ask Brian Shire.
No idea. Yeah, of course.
Did it go in before the whistle? Yeah, then it's a goal.
Yeah. So I mean, they're stock all over the place. So it's a good time of year. I want to get right into the your name here, points of the day. Kind of see where your guys' brains are at with everything going on. Which one of you two?
I'll go first because I want to do a thank you and then a point.
What you got?
The thank you is to John and Karen McQuarrie.
Oh, yeah.
For hosting Jared, JB, and I at the amazing and beautiful Vandervoort Hotel in downtown Springfield.
Also known as the Illuminati Hideaway.
Yeah, that too. They've got 2 buildings, the Vandervoort and the Vantage, and what an amazingly just beautiful space for design, architecture, great place to stay. So if you come to Springfield to watch the Missouri State Bears or check out the campus or just to hang out in Springfield, make sure you go by the Vandervoort.
Well said, Zach.
The upstairs outdoor bar, amazing as well. So thank you to Karen and to John for hosting us there. My point is, actually, you know what I just did?
What'd you do?
I just forgot my
Well,
point.
let me go. I'll jump right in. And
I
help
had
you. You
one,
come
and
back.
I didn't write it down, so I lost it. So I'll let you go.
So my
I know what it is now.
your name here, point 2A of the day, I guess, is I'm just going to say the words Springfield, Missouri. We pulled into town, us 3, Zach already mentioned, coming to this game to air this show. First time ever SLU's been here. Marquee rivalry, if you will. I got just a kind of a funny, happy, almost a goofy feeling, like just pulling into this town and being back on this campus.
Were you nervous?
I wasn't nervous about the
Have you
game
not
because
checked
I'm
in
not
with your
playing.
probation officer in a while?
I have not.
All those officers have retired since then, so that's good.
Yeah, there's also a statue and a picture of me at the police department, but we won't
and
mention
every
that.
bar.
Yeah.
Do not
So,
let this guy in.
To finish my point, I'm just happy to be here to celebrate this program, who's number 13, who does not lose at this field. I think they're 45-4-5 since 2019 on
Insane.
this field. They lead the nation. SLU, their pedigree, their history, and what they mean for our collegiate game out of St. Louis is just second to none.
Yep.
And if we're a soccer pod, this is a holy grail for us. I mean, this gives me butterflies.
Well, and as an alum as well, I was here around the same time that Jared was, and unfortunately, when we were here, the soccer team didn't play on campus. And this is right in the heart of campus. In fact, I can see from where I'm sitting right now, where we're recording, the place I lived in when I first moved to campus. And I can see where Mandy, my wife, lived as well, Blair Shannon. So awesome venue. But my point that I forgot to mention earlier is about Pulisic.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
you
but
might have punked me on this one. Go ahead.
An Olympico in the Champions
Oh,
League.
Okay, yeah, continue.
That's insane. The dude has just crushed it. I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I mean, he's got to have.
Here's my thought on Olympicos first. Goalie is a turd.
Well,
if that goes-
listen, I'm not arguing that. No argument there. The in-swinger deked the goalie out a little bit, and it just kind of fell
Well,
in.
let me jump in here. My your name here. My your name here point of the day is also involving Mr. Captain America, Christian Pulisic. You guys have seen it. Landon Donovan gets called out because a couple of years ago, whenever he being Christian was in between contracts, Landon made the claim he should play in MLS so he can improve. Remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
And
So does Landon.
Yeah, and at the time, because we've talked about this before. You guys know my relationship to Christian as it pertains to Chelsea in particular.
Yep.
I wasn't a fan. I wanted him to go someplace and play and get better.
Yeah.
And so when this was all playing out, I remember when Landon went on and he said that on the air, and I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Like he's 24, 25 or whatever it was.
Oh, he was 23 at the time.
Yeah, no, do not go back to MLS. If you have European Champions League powerhouses wanting you to roster, go play, if you can play. And he's proven it. And this goes back to the debate that everybody's having in regards to Poch's new selections and the potential of the national team moving forward, and the relationship between MLS and that team. As long as you have players that can go play at a place like AC Milan, you do not go to MLS.
So let me ask you a question, JB. What's your over/under on Pulisic going to Liverpool this summer?
I don't.
Or
think,
another English Premier League team?
I don't think he'll go back to the EPL.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I don't know why he would with that contract and the clout and how he's carrying that team on his back. There's no reason to.
I can think of several million reasons to go back, but
I get it.
Look, if it's pure, if it so here's the unfortunate / reality / no knock on you, Christian, but the reality is when EPL teams sign American players, the merch bump,
It's
the
huge.
popularity bump is completely disproportionate because these teams, it was the Chelsea effect whenever Chelsea signed them. You know, I remember going to the Amsterdam Tavern early on where the only Chelsea fans in the bar were me, Stelzer, Aaron Barrett, and maybe 3 other people, and 2 of them we didn't know. And now you
Being
go
a
into-
Milwaukee Brewer fan, I mean, what are you
That's
getting?
not
No,
the
and
same
my
thing.
point is, like, whenever Pulisic was signed, all of a sudden there's like 50 people there all wearing Chelsea kits with Pulisic on the back.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the Americanization effect. So if you're Liverpool with American ownership group, I could see them making a play for it and be big money.
Salah's going to Saudi Arabia, and they're going to have a hole in that spot.
But my thing is this: AC Milan is good for him.
I agree.
He's
I
playing
think it's been
well.
great. Yep.
He's playing top level.
Yep.
Why leave?
With Musa.
Playing is the key word.
I agree with you guys. I'm just being a little facetious and just kind of poke the bear a little bit, but I think if he can stay another year there and continue the numbers that he has and in the production and do something on the U.S. national team in 2026, he can go anywhere he wants.
Yeah, well said.
Anybody else? I got more. Your name point of
No,
the day.
go for it, man. We're
I'm gonna
you control the sliders.
I'm
so-
gonna take us back to the 314 St. Louis City season's over.
yeah.
We have, well, 2 things, actually. I'm going to make these quick. First one is just kind of like let's shine a light on the kiddos. That being City 2, last week's game, the playoff game, 2-1
Yeah.
2-1 win over LA. And
Game-winner goal.
game-winning goal yet again by our boy Mackay.
Well, a combo.
Who assisted?
Mr. Glover.
Glover. And as they were all walking off, it was the little threesome. Who else was with them?
Tyson.
Tyson.
Yep.
So yet again, I'm so happy for the club, Scott Gallagher in particular, their ability to continue to move players up through the pipeline into this opportunity. Those
Create
types
winners.
of opportunity.
Yeah.
Because the funny thing is, you know how, like, if you follow City socials, they always do the dripping or tripping, right? What they're wearing as they walk down the tunnel into the big stadium. Well, they caught the 3 of them walking pregame, kind of laughing in the order that they caught them on the field
In the same
post
order.
game, same order, smiling in kits right after the goal.
Can I say something negative about City socials for a second? City Academy socials in particular.
Sure, you can say whatever you want.
Quit putting the results in a vertical style.
Oh,
That drives me. I don't know, Jared. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
when,
yeah,
When
yeah,
they
yeah,
put
yeah,
the U14, 15, 16, and 19 or 18s, they put the City and then their opponent right below it as opposed to next to it, and there's still 4. It throws me off.
I unfollowed him last year.
it's new math. It's new math.
New math.
No, your name here, point of the day, though, what I want to bring up, and this is really more of a question. We've seen the roster announcements as far as who's being re-upped, who's being cut. The one position that's yet to TBD is the man on the end of the bench, the coach.
It's still,
Hack.
it's.
Over
I think
on-
there's still negotiations. I mean, the one thing I'll say about the announcement is we're here. We're watching St. Louis University, and one of our first draft picks ever as a pro club was Mr. Johnny Klein, whose option was declined this year. So Mr. Johnny Klein is no longer going to be with City.
Thoughts on Johnny Klein? You
Yeah,
guys?
I got one. Just a couple points. the way the kid plays is contagious. I mean, he's an animal. He's got a high motor. I'm pulling for the kid because I think the kid is a good player. He comes from a high-level family in our game, and I just best of luck to Mr. Klein on whatever he does because I think he puts the work in, and he has the ability to be successful.
Yeah, no, well, let me ask you guys this. Do you think that he grinds it out in an MLS capacity, or do you think he might move to USL?
I think MLS Next Pro is likely on a 2-team for an MLS because I think he's good enough to play in the MLS level. It's got to be the right fit. It's got to be the right system.
Yeah, I think system is the key word there because I think that in a high press, cover a lot of ground system in the position he plays, his size hurts him, even though he is a high-level energy player. I think that a system that wants to keep the ball and play through the middle suits him better, and I think he can find a home wherever that may be.
I agree.
Well, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wrap this up then. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring on our first guest of the day. I want to point out here, Oldest City Talk. Be looking for an episode upcoming here with our friends over at Ball Watching. We're going to do an end-of-year city synopsis.
Oh.
We're gonna get in the weeds. We're going to do something we don't normally do.
Little X's and O's and in the weeds.
We're going to make... Yeah,
we have to prepare for that?
Well, I told them
Jared,
they
you
need
have to write some stuff
No,
down.
I told them they need to bring all the notes for us. So,
I'm not preparing for that.
We'll be... No, I wasn't expecting...
Can they write a summary and have it read to us?
Yeah, right. Hey, and also I also want to remind everybody, new friend of the show, for you families out there that have kids trying to navigate this process, come play at the next level. Tony Delafield and Prospect Player.
Yeah.
Go check out the socials. We've been, vetting him. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's shown up, and I think he's legit.
Been solid coming out.
Yeah.
He's got a great roster of clients helping kids get to the next level. So just go check out give him a follow on socials and learn a little bit about what he does. I think you're going to be impressed. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break here. We are almost 0-1, but we are 0-0 at
and I will say,
Betty and Bobby.
SLU looks...
I think SLU's had the better of the play.
They have. I mean, they've been on this half of the field.
We are about 17 minutes in, and it's still 0-0, as JB was mentioning. And in my opinion, SLU has been the more dangerous team.
Agreed.
A lot of game left. A lot of show left. We'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for listening. Like, review, follow, share. We'll catch you.
Next time you are in Springfield, Missouri, go to the Hotel Vandevort downtown. This incredible boutique hotel has it all, including complimentary EV chargers and a rooftop bar that we might have just closed down. Follow at Hotel Vandevort, VANDIVORT, on Insta and take a peek.
See what I did there, boys?
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
What are we doing?
Yeah, we're back, peoples. We have our first guest with us. Here.
Hold on now.
Come on, you tell me.
This show.
You got to talk about the music a little bit.
Oh, we do?
What am I playing here, Jared?
If I had $1 million?
By who?
I don't know.
The Bare
Naked
Ladies.
Ah, I see what you did there. Music means something on this show.
Yeah, it's your 3 favorite things: bears, naked, and ladies.
Yeah. Well played.
Not naked bears as much.
All right, we are back. We've got a guest sitting down with us at the table, courtside.
Yeah, we are courtside. We're in lane 4 of the track.
Yeah.
About at the penalty spot of the defending Bear goal, and they have a SLU's coming in on them right now. Turnover. But let's get to our guest. Our first guest of the night is fellow Bear. I'm excited to have him. His name is Nick Dryden. You played, my friend, from 2006 to 2010. We like to start with a little bit of a pin in the map. Tell us where you started, where you're from, and just Give us a little short 10,000-foot view of your bio.
Yeah, so I grew up in small town Missouri, about an hour and a half southeast of here, West Plains. World-renowned soccer player producer, West Plains, Missouri.
I can't even think of. There's so many.
I was going to say I heard of it.
Where's Jackie Stiles from?
Not West Plains.
No, she's from Kansas.
Yeah, she's
I
from
think.
Kansas.
Is she from Kansas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Small town Kansas. So
Okay.
that's a different,
Which is every
different
town
direction.
in Kansas.
Yeah.
Different state,
And she
different
played
direction.
basketball.
Okay,
And
okay.
she's female. And,
Okay.
but yeah.
Also an alum, though.
Yeah, also an alum. I got that
There's
right.
the connection.
Nailed it.
All right.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So, small town. So not quite a big soccer producer. Grew up just playing with buddies. Rec league, traveled, going to the Show Me games up in Columbia. Didn't play
Which club early? Who were you playing with club ball?
West Plains Gators.
West Plains Gators.
Heard of them?
There are a lot of Gators in
this
West
is an
Plains.
audio pod, but if you could have seen his face, like he thinks I'm crazy for not knowing that.
Well, let me ask you this.
No.
In that era, because I know, and for our listeners and people that listen to our show, our Bears now are extremely international, and you played basically at the end of the era where we had mostly domestic players. How did you get recruited to come here? Was it through the camp system, or how did you end up here?
Yeah, so it was a combination of camps. So I started coming to the team camp as a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And then so through that, I got recognized by Coach Leamy, and then Coach Sorley was the assistant.
I remember him, Eric.
At the time. Yeah, so that's kind of how I got recruited, as well as my junior and senior year, I finally started coming up to Springfield to play club for what was at the time Springfield Soccer Club, which is now Sporting Springfield.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
yeah.
And what keeps you in Springfield nowadays? You just got a small family, and you're here supporting the Bears. Tell us about why you're here and why you're still so close to the program.
Yeah, so moved up out of college, was in St. Louis for just over a year, working up there, and then found a job back down here. My girlfriend at the time had moved back down here, and so then we got engaged and married, and she is now the Sugar Bear coach. So that, yep, most have. So that keeps her here, and I'm not leaving her. So
Well said.
Let me
That's
ask you
a
this.
smart small town guy right there.
Happy wife, happy life.
that's right.
It's no secret that this program that you support, that you played at, is basically on a rocket ship. What does it mean to see the success that these guys are having nationally over the last handful of years? I'd imagine you have a lot of pride, like a lot of us ex-Bears do.
It's insane because, when I was here, 06 to 10, so we always heard about the 99 team that was so good.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Heard of them too.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you
Everybody
next time.
has. So, the 99 team that was so great, made the NCAA tournament, and then we had good teams, but it went on a little bit of a lull.
Okay.
And then finally, my senior year, the often forgotten about 09 team that also went to the NCAA tournament.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. And then there was another lull until, it was a small rise. But then since 2019, 5 NCAA tournaments in a row where if they don't get to the second round, it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Or if they don't get a home game in the NCAA tournament, it's a disappointment.
Let me ask you about this. The one of the anchors, his name's on the fence over there, and you mentioned that he recruited you, Coach Leamy.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what Coach Leamy means to you when you sit here field side, you see the new generation, the new coach, the new player profile, everything. When you think back to him and fast forwarding to now, what does it mean to you having been recruited by him and playing under him?
He's one of a kind. An amazing human, amazing man. And at the time when I was playing, hated him.
I've heard that before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
We've heard that before.
You were a track athlete too?
exactly. Look in my bio. I claim that I was a state champion track and field athlete freshman year. I didn't actually go to the meet, but I was on the team. So, yeah, I ran track, and that's what it was. And so, but I mean, just how hard he pushed everybody. And if you make it through it, even if you don't make it through all 4 years, what he will do for anybody that is in his bubble, and it's a huge bubble.
Yeah.
And just how well he stays connected, and he's a one-of-a-kind human, and I'm forever grateful that I know him.
What you just said there, I couldn't have said it better, because I know a lot of my teammates from the '99 team you mentioned, the best team ever. A lot of those guys would say a lot of the same things, because he was a drill sergeant type, disciplined guy when we played here. But all of us to a man after we left, we all love him to death. And I basically owe a ton of my success to him specifically. And I just wish he wasn't so shy. We need to get him on here.
He will.
So you were talking earlier that you're involved with. Are you coaching currently? Is that correct?
This is my first season as an assistant coach.
Club or
Yep. Yeah, for sporting. So coaching. I've got a 7-year-old, so I've been helping out with his team.
So I have to assume that you're probably planning on elevating your role in the coaching environment. Let me ask, just mentally, when you look at the team today, because Jared's talked about it, we've all talked about it. We all know the reality of the player makeup as far as where they're from. This is not a domestic team, just simply put. It's not. It's a great team, but it's not. But now that you, having come from the program, pre-transition, you're witnessing the success, you're now coaching at the club level, how important is it for you to attempt to be part of, because Jared says this all the time, just recruit one or two of the best players in the state of Missouri. Find them. Get them back to this program. How important is it to you to see Missourians on this roster?
I would like to see it, but it's also hard to argue with the success that the program has seen. And trust me, talking to alums, there is frustration, absolutely. But, I think...
Almost a goal by the St. Louis University.
Yeah.
Thankfully not.
But
totally lost my train of thought with that. But so it would be great, yes. But like I said, it's hard to argue with the success that the program is having.
Yeah. So
but yeah,
Let me interrupt and just add a quick follow up, just to kind of, because that's a tough question, and I know a lot of alum have mixed feelings. But as time passes, do you think it gets easier and it just becomes more of a situation? We had Coach Siebold on; he was great on the show, and the resonating statement that he made to us on that episode was, "Look, if they are good enough, they will play." Mm-hmm. So is the challenge simply as a community, as clubs, as a region, develop better players?
I think that's some of it. I mean, I always look at myself specifically too. I would not have had a chance to make this team as a freshman. I had a lot of growth that I needed to do, and I thankfully was able to achieve that and continued for the 4 years. But I wouldn't have sniffed this team as a recruit, but had success when I was here. But yeah, there's definite growth, but also you look at Sporting Springfield just specifically. There's a kid that's playing at Tulsa, which is a good program. There's a kid on SLU that is from Springfield and moved up to St. Louis, I think, and then now is playing for SLU. So there is some of the talent, but I think different teams have different specific profiles that they're looking for too.
Sure.
So
go ahead, Jared.
Well, and imparting for me, Nick, thank you for coming on. It's good seeing you. I'm really excited about this university and this program, and I can see just in your the way you carry yourself, you have a lot of those same sentiments. And good luck to you and your family, and go Bears.
Yeah, appreciate it. Go Bears.
Yeah, Nick, thank you for joining us. I just want to have to a little PSA for a second, okay? If you're of the age of, I don't know, 5 to 10, and you have a ball anywhere near something hard, stop bouncing it. I can't stand it when kids dribble a basketball.
You're that old crotchety man.
Or a soccer ball right next to me. It drives me nuts.
You also don't eat food out of a basket.
I don't eat food
That's
out of a
weird
basket.
too.
No.
Hey, Nick, thank you for joining us, man. Good luck with club coaching and your alma mater. Hopefully they got
the Sugar Bears.
And they got a deeper and the Sugar Bears.
Where are they tonight?
Are the Sugar Bears going out tonight? Where are they going?
I'll find out. I'll let you know.
that was not my question.
I was just asking for a friend.
Sure.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Thanks again for listening. We're going to bring on another guest here in just a little bit. Like, review, follow, share. Soccer Dad Pod. We'll be right back after this.
The term staycation was really invented by soccer moms. Located 1 hour and 7 minutes from the Arch, the Music Box Chalet at Innsbruck is a hidden gem. Buried in 3 acres of private woods, the Music Box has a master suite for just you, a loft and second bath for them, and a vinyl collection to meet your every mood. The full-size kitchen will easily accommodate 3 to 12 bottles of rosé, while the huge fire pit seating area will keep the big kids busy. Golf, fishing, kayaking, pickleball, or simply reading a book with Mother Nature, all at your fingertips. Visit either VRBO or Airbnb to find the Music Box Chalet. And now, back to those guys.
We'll try this. See how it goes, you know?
Did you catch that?
I'm not.
Betty and Bobby?
Betty and Bobby.
What? Where did you find that? Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Ernie Tucker and the Operators.
Wow.
A little homage to the stadium name, Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium.
Wow.
Ernie Tucker with 65 monthly followers on Spotify.
We're about to get drowned out by the music for this middle school dance
let's see how
team.
this goes. Soccer Dad Pod, we're back for, what is this? It's a third quarter.
Yeah.
Well, more like a period, like this is the second period.
Yeah, that's true.
You had an intro, first period, second period.
It's going to be interesting. J-Rod, you got a buddy here that apparently knows somebody that we know that he might not want to admit that he knows him. Or, there's a lot of maybes going on
Let
here.
me drop the name. I have fellow Bear alum, Mr. Aaron Rickard. I believe Aaron was a senior when I was a freshman.
You keep saying that. You're wrong every time.
Do you think so?
You're a sophomore. We played 2 years together.
Okay.
He doesn't remember that second year.
Yeah.
It's a little blurry.
It's a little blurry. But Mr. Aaron Rickard, I was so happy to see him jumping on the show. Aaron, what we like to do here is, I know, but our listeners don't. You're from Minnesota. Just give us a little bit of background on how you started the game and how you made your way to beautiful, sunny Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, like you said, I grew up in the soccer hub of Minnesota as a kid, and was one of the few that played soccer. Thankfully, my parents were big into the sport and helped actually grow the sport where I lived.
Wow.
And just kind of fell in love with the game. I had an older brother that played, and just kind of piggybacked on him and his friends, and really became passionate about a sport that in Minnesota was probably like the 10th sport that you would play at that time. So
Yeah. How did you did John Leamy recruit you out of Minnesota or Allen Ball? How did you make it to Springfield, Missouri?
So actually, Kevin Riley, who is a year older than me, also from Minnesota, played. Came down here the year before I did, and we were rivals in high school. He mentioned me to Leamy and the coaches here, and that's kind of how it started. Raj Cobb was the assistant coach at the time, and so he kind of reached out to me, I was doing what I could to get noticed in Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't have any Division I soccer, and so it was hard to find opportunities there.
Well, and for me, just seeing you, and you make your home in Springfield nowadays professionally. You're raising a family here. I think you're involved with some of the local clubs. In the local club game, what are you doing now in our game? And I know you got kiddos playing the game. This is an electric atmosphere, a little bit different than where we played off campus.
Just a touch.
Tell us what you're doing nowadays in the game.
I do a lot, actually. I'm on the Lake Country Soccer Board, so that's the facilities, big facilities here in Springfield. I coach and am on the board with Rush Soccer,
Nice.
Southwest Missouri Rush Soccer. Also have really gotten involved with futsal. Me and another coach have started a futsal program here, a futsal club that we're just starting up this winter that we're excited about. We've had a lot of opportunities on that. We've been to national tournaments in Florida, regional tournaments around here, and so it's really something that we are passionate about and are really trying to grow here also with the futsal side of thing.
So I've got a couple questions for you. One, this is very, very important. Juicy Lucy burgers, right? If it's in a basket and you put ketchup in the end of the basket, is that a good thing because your fries are soggy, or would you rather have your fries outside the basket and your ketchup next to it?
No, I'd rather have it inside.
You like the soggy fries with your Juicy Lucy?
I do.
It's a basket question. JB was making fun of us, and I just wanted to get a little validation, and you screwed it up, Aaron. You got that one wrong. No.
I'm from Minnesota, so we do things differently.
That's true.
He's like, fries, we do cheese curds.
That's Wisconsin.
Same thing.
So the futsal piece is really important, I think, from a developmental standpoint of our game. And not too far from here, we got Oklahoma, which has actually a thriving futsal population and process. Kansas City hosts a big regional. St. Louis is finally starting to figure out that futsal. So what do you think is the reason futsal has an impact on your program, on your kids' programs?
From a development standpoint, for younger ages especially, you see a quicker growth in their comfort level just because of the speed that's required, both with the skills and their mind. And so at our younger ages, we definitely have seen, because that's what we've been focused on, is we've seen just a lot quicker growth and development on the younger side of things, because not only is the game faster, but it's just a lot more repetition for the players as well. And so I think it's a huge benefit. The kids that have done it within our club that we've been pushing, they've definitely become a lot more, higher level player, mentally and physically. So
it's no secret they're doing it all over the world.
Right.
It's taken us this long for us to really grasp onto it. And
well, that's a good thing. I mean, a couple of years ago, we had a couple of guys from Brazil come in that have futsal clubs down in Florida that we got hooked up with. And we started a relationship with them. They came and did a couple camps and kind of showed that level of things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. He talked about the growth of futsal just in its totality and the effect that it's having, and kind of the reciprocity with players around the world that are now coming here, because the relationship between futsal not only growing in popularity, but MASL indoor soccer via TST and how that's all connecting the dots. It's just a growing market. Here's what I'm curious about. Springfield, Missouri, Missouri State, the Bears, that is the game in town. There's no professional team here, right? But with kids looking for idols, how has it been with this particular program having the success that it's had? And in particular, I was looking at the roster earlier. When you look at where these players came from, where you as a coach, you're looking to motivate kids, right? Who's your North Star? Well, you have players on this team at Missouri State that came from the Fulham Academy, that came from Villa, that came from Villarreal. Have you leaned into that at all, or is there kind of a separation? Is Missouri State your baby, or have you been able to pull your club teams into it?
not necessarily the teams. I mean, for the kids, I have a son that is 9, and so I coach his team, and I have more of a relationship with the younger kids. I really push them to come to like the Missouri State camps because they're interacting with some of those players that came from these clubs that you just talked about, and so just getting a connection to a different mindset experience that those players have versus just local players that play the game. I think it's so I really push it with that. Unfortunately, I don't think the community as a whole has necessarily a direct relationship with Missouri State soccer. It's unfortunate because they've for a long time now had a really high level of talent that's played here. I think it's great tonight to see how many kids are actually out here.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be amazing to try to find ways to continue to build relationships.
Well, I hope that happens. I think the connection between Missouri State soccer program and the community, which really has grown significantly from a soccer standpoint over the last several decades. And listeners can't see this, but Aaron's wearing a very vintage
Xara.
I knew that
Xara jersey. That's the XARA Zara jersey with the old SMSU logo, which was
even before SMS.
Yeah. Well, no. What do you mean before SMS? Oh, I mean before the SMS, but they took the U off.
Yeah. And so, like in closing for me, just kind of a fun question. Our 99 team, how do you think we would fare against these kids? Like in your, because we had a pretty good team.
Yes.
And we did pretty well nationally. I think it's a good game. What do you
I think it's a really good game.
I think we're more fit.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Leamy made sure that we would be the fittest team out there. So that wasn't an issue ever.
Yeah.
Skill-wise, maybe a little bit lower than what we see out here, but I think that's just a normal thing now for the growth of the game and what you see kids can do now compared to maybe what we were learning when we were younger. But I think it'd be a good game.
Zach, you want to poke the bear? Or should I?
Aaron, for me, because I know my mom and dad, when they were coming to games, they took to your parents. I hope everybody's doing well. I can't wait to see your wife. Thanks for coming on, man, and go Bears.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Thanks, guys.
so before you roll out, I did take a selfie of all of us, and I sent it to that friend of ours, and his reply was, "That's my man."
Oh, yeah, we didn't even bring it. We're in closing.
How could we have a show without mentioning his name?
Mr. Glover. So, funny small world here. The Rickard family and the Glover family are extremely tight, and you guys have been doing family vacations for how many years?
Well, let's see. Our kids are for 20-some years now.
Wow.
How did that? How?
So my wife and Jason's wife went to high school together in Warsaw, Missouri.
Got it.
And so we all met in college here at Missouri State and connected and have done. We actually went on a vacation a few months ago where Caden got to come for a couple of the days because he got a couple of days off, so he flew in to Florida. Played some beach soccer with him.
Was there a day that you could kick his ass on beach soccer on the beach?
Yeah, and I was trying to think
How old
back.
was he?
When he was
4?
6?
Yeah, exactly. It was like, it was all of a sudden one summer I was like, wait a minute, now he's better than me. What happened?
Hey, man, thanks for joining us. Appreciate
So
it.
good to meet you, Aaron.
Best of luck to your club, the futsal, everything else, and your Bears this evening. So, any predictions halftime? You want to try and call the ball here?
I'm seeing a 1-0 Bears win here in the second half. I think they're turning on at the end of that first half, and they're going to score a goal here in the second half to take it.
All right.
All right, guys. Hey, we're gonna roll out here with a little more Betty and Bobby from Ernie Tucker. He's got 65 followers on Spotify. I'm about to give him 66. We'll catch you on the flip side. Later.
U.S. Futsal Missouri is signing up futsal teams now for their winter session. Available to both boys and girls K through 12, the league will be fast-paced and surrounded by some incredible staff to help the kids develop and have fun. To register, go to www.futsal.org.
We're back, people. Soccer Dad Pod.
Love it.
You see what I did here, Zach?
I don't know what this is right now.
It's a little song. Anybody know the name of this song?
Heck yeah, you got some Bowie going.
Oh, there we go.
Heroes.
Heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, Heroes. Yeah.
Just for one day.
Just for one day.
Day.
And I played this because our guest who knew the song, who clearly is way cooler than you two turds.
True. Very,
Knew
very
it.
true.
But he happens to be a hero for you, Mr. Bertrand. Go ahead. Name drop. Roll it in.
Yeah, we are very fortunate. I know this gentleman doesn't like to do a lot of this media stuff, but we have longtime coach, Mr. John Leamy. I played for the gentleman, absolute stalwart in this program. I mean, Coach, thank you for coming on. And my first question is having SLU down here for the first time, what does this mean? You helped start and build this program with many people. What does this mean to you to have this crowd and this game here showcasing our best amateur universities in the state?
Jared, first and foremost, it's awesome having you guys down.
Thank you.
It is fantastic
Thank you.
having this media coverage come down to Missouri State and to Springfield. The game is just fantastic. It's two great programs. It
Yes.
really is. And hey, SLU has had a program for decades and decades, way back with Harry Keogh and the success. In Missouri State, Southwest Missouri State, Jared, right? The build, the climb. But right now, there are just a couple of great programs in the state, and it's so awesome to see the game take place and be here in Springfield. And last year, we were up there in St. Louis, and you just hope. I don't know what the scheduling is or isn't, but hopefully this is an annual game every year that these two programs play. It's a great thing for college soccer.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it. And where the program has came from its humble beginnings, and you were a big part of that. What does it mean to have this facility on campus? And I know at the end of your career, this facility came to fruition, but this facility in this atmosphere is just huge for this university. Would you agree?
Yes, yeah, Jared, and when you played, we roamed a little bit, right,
Yep,
where
yep,
we were
yep.
doing games. It was like, we didn't really control some of our destiny in terms of, the field or bump over here or do this or that. But to have a field like this in kind of the heart of the campus.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we are next to Glass Hall, one of the best colleges of business in the country. And then right over the other side, we have the Great Southern Bank Arena, 11,000 seat, a recreation center across the street. We can see residence halls. It is just a fixture, a great, great centerpiece of the campus.
Yeah, well said. Go ahead.
Well, Coach Leamy, I know you don't like to do media, but man, you are giving me vibes of the great commentators of the day, of the Masters, painting a picture of where we are.
Hello, friends.
Yeah, hello, friends. Jim Nance. But
I'm looking for a green jacket.
I
here,
am
man.
too.
It feels
But
good.
no, that's great. But Coach Leamy, Jared has been one of my best friends for a long time, and I'm not going to try to call him out, but I will say he doesn't talk about a lot of people who have made a positive impact on his life like he does about you. And I wanted to say, because I don't know if he could say it to you, but the impact you've made on his life and so many lives that we've talked to, the players that you've had, it's just impressive. And I just wanted to say thank you for the dedication you put into the program here at Missouri State as an alum, but also as a friend and a lover of the game, what you've done for so many of those players, and then the follow-on of their kids and their families and the programs that they're helping start. It's a testament to your commitment to them and to what you set out to do. And I just wanted to thank you for doing that.
Yeah, well said.
Well,
You're very kind. Thank you.
So real quick, here's where I would like to go with this, because when Jared started to introduce you, he said, "How excited are you?" I believe is how he started, and then he said something about the game that's being played here, etc. I thought for sure he would be, "How excited are you that you're sitting next to me again after all these years?" So, what I want to do,
Debatable.
what I want to do is I want to go back to you. You came here in '92, I believe, was your first year as a head coach. Is that correct?
Yes, 92.
92, and then we had a guest previously that was talking about the infamously famous year of '99. The team with our friend here. talk about that year. Talk about that team. Talk about that run. Talk about the players a little bit, because there's a lot of your alum that will be listening to this. They're going to love to hear your voice, and it's been a long time since that year and that run. What does it mean to you, and what do you remember about it?
Oh, gosh, I mean, there's been so many good years, but 99 was incredible. I mean, the guys that played for this program died for this program. Anytime, I mean, if anybody needed something, they would be there. I mean, they just put this school on the map with soccer in ways that, it just wasn't there. We were Southwest Missouri State and blah, blah, blah. But it was one of the best college teams in the country. I look back at it and you see it. It was a phenomenal team. It was a tough schedule. Jared, we might have played like 5 home games or something. I don't even know. We were on the road a lot and the travel and some of this. But, God, those guys played for each other. They loved each other. They just played for each other.
You mentioned that this game, you would love to see the old college rules of overtime. I think specifically in that year, we might have went to 4, 5, 6 overtime games in a row.
Yes.
Didn't lose.
Don't lose. It wasn't ties. It was like they're going to find a way.
And I remember on that team specifically, and looking at my teammates in the eyes, and just the aura of the team and how we had that ship sailing. It was one of those teams that everybody, I hope, is in their life to be fortunate to be on. You could just tell we weren't going to lose. And that was a special time for me and my fellow teammates, you, Alan Ball, Jeremy.
Yep.
I mean, it was just a phenomenal year.
Well, you guys, you use the term track athlete a lot, right, Jared, in talking about Coach Leamy's style. When you're going into 4 or 5 overtime games, Coach Leamy, how important was that fitness in preseason and during the season?
You know what? We prided ourselves that we were going to outwork any team, and we were going to do it because we knew it wasn't going to be pretty sometimes. I mean, it just wasn't going to be. We had some phenomenal players, though, but the way sometimes the schedule was stacked and some of the games weren't you're choosing when you played, but you're like, we'll play. I mean, I told a lot of programs, we'll play you anytime, any place.
Love it.
Put us on the schedule. We'll do it. It doesn't matter. We're going to go do it. And Jared, I mean, I'm sitting next to a phenomenal player. I mean, Jared was incredible, but there were so many on that team. And Jared is in the Hall of Fame at Missouri State University.
We've heard.
You don't say.
Yes.
I'll show you guys later.
And let me tell you, there's not a lot of soccer players in our Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very small list, and he separated himself.
Let me ask you that, because Jared grew up in St. Louis, played for Bush, ran that gamut, had, he entered into the recruiting process. You're down here at Southwest, at Missouri State. Talk a little bit about your recruiting kind of strategy back in those days, because you have 2 cities to the west and to the east of you that are both putting out players. We put out way more players, by the way, but you had SLU right in the middle of that pin in the map. So what was your mindset when it came to competing to try and get the Jared Bertrands of the world? With so many good schools, you have Creighton to the north, you've got SLU obviously in St. Louis, etc. How did you approach recruiting during those years?
It was a build. The program started.
Oh, what a save!
Fingertip save by St. Louis University here in the 24 minutes left.
But, we started, Dr. Frank Dinka, it started as a club, moved into varsity. Then Jan Staldy became the head coach. And Jan is still a stalwart in our community. In fact, he coaches our lab school, Greenwood High School, still. So Jan is still coaching and doing great things. The great Tommy Howe from St. Louis was down here. Yep. Tommy Howe, and then, had the opportunity to come to Springfield. And, the program was just, there was a lot of things to do. There was this and that. There were some limitations, but the school believed in the program. But we had to kind of get out there and get some fundraising going and do some things, create some excitement. So a lot of our recruiting was more localized, and absolutely wanted to target St. Louis. because they produce so many good players. It's phenomenal, and they still do. I mean, it is phenomenal what goes on up there in the soccer culture. I mean, you've got great granddads that played the sport, know the sport, and can talk it all day, and they can tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, and they're spot on most of the time.
Well said.
They are. It's phenomenal. But Jared, he was with the Bush team. And I remember Jeremy Allenbaugh, fantastic assistant coach. We knew about Jared. We had him, and we went down to the tournament down in Tampa.
I think Sun Bowl.
Yeah, Sun Bowl, right after Christmas. So we fired up the car. We drove down to Tampa, and Jared Bertrand is who we wanted to see. And they have games spread out everywhere, and we're like, okay, we got to go see Jared. And we're watching Jared, and he's destroying the field. He's just tearing it up. And we're like, oh, my God. We're looking at each other, and we're like, okay, who's here? Who's watching this kid play? Because he was going to be a stalwart. You just knew it. He had the drive, the fight, the competitiveness, but a lovely touch, wonderful touch, vision, played with his head up. He could make the passes. He could penetrate. He could get in, get the goal. And you're looking, and you're going, holy smokes. And Jared Bertrand is a player we wanted in our program. And it was just fantastic when he said yes. And I think 1 billion programs maybe missed the boat on him. But the choice he made, I don't think could have been better, because he is a Bear. And this is awesome that he stayed in state and played, and he's still connected so much with this program.
Yeah, I well said, because you look back in time in playing for this university, playing for you, Coach. There's a lot of coaches that are out there that are called quote-unquote players coaches and their buddies and whatnot. I needed the coaching that I got here, where you were going to push us to the brink. It got everything out of me, and I look back now and just thank you. And I know a lot of my peers and friends that played on those teams, at least during my era, would say the same thing. We had just the utmost fun here. This university, the way they supported us with the late, great Mr. O'Neill.
Yep.
On the athletic department side, and then even Mr. Cooper, and a lot of those outside of the universities. Imagine what that gentleman would do for NIL nowadays. Oh, they almost scored again.
Point blank range.
But in closing for me, Coach, and we'll get you on, thank you. What you mean to this university and this program is just over the moon, man, and it's great seeing you.
Oh, Jared, geez, I should have brought a box of Kleenex. You know what I mean?
Just admit that you want to tell him to go run.
Yeah, we're men.
Find a hill.
We're men, Jared. Hey, you know what? And men love each other, and the camaraderie and the people. And hey, you know what? Nobody screwed more things up than I did, but the forgiveness that has been given by players to me, well, I am indebted to, because you can be disconnected from somebody for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and as soon as you're back, it's right away. You have that instantaneous bond, and what they went through. The average outside person that's not involved with maybe a collegiate athletics team that's going to try to really bust it and win championship, they don't understand how much goes into that and what it is. And, it's unbelievable. And, Missouri State is cooking. I think, hey, that's a freaking handball.
That was a handball in the box by SLU, and they didn't call
it. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. And that
you,
was right in front of us.
I tell you what, Coach Leamy, it's we've had the privilege to talk to some absolute class Mount Rushmore faces in not only U.S. soccer nationally, the collegiate game, etc. You're on that list. The
100%.
respect that your players. I love Jared, and Jared, when he shoots it straight, he shoots it straight. He's giving you the utmost, just kind, respectful words. But what I want to say is, I probably met 5 or 6 Missouri State players that are roughly around the same generation. They all say the same thing.
Same thing.
So it's just, I know that, you probably, everybody's like, Coach, you're the best. I have no horse in this race, and I've heard enough. You're a winner. Congratulations on bringing the program, helping it get to this point.
Continuing to do what he does.
Yeah, because, realistically, this facility and everything else, without you and what you guys did, this is a maybe. I mean, that's the reality of the situation because that's how
There's a
history
lot
books
of people,
are written.
JB, that got behind
Yeah.
this and do
So-
it, and it is not me. It's not me. It took a lot of folks,
Well-
and we got the best donors in college soccer, and we got many of them up here in the stands right now or down along the flank because it's standing room only. We
I
have a
love it.
standing room only night
Place is
here,
packed right
and it's
now.
awesome, and it's a great atmosphere, and you can envision the time when the next set of grandstands are going to get built.
Mm-hmm.
But Missouri State, hey, Mike Seabolt and his staff are working hard to bring a national championship
Yeah,
to
do it.
Missouri State.
Do it.
A national championship. The RPI right now, 13, 14,
Yep.
top 15 in the country. If we can finish strong, it's going to be 6 NCAA tournaments in a row. But, last year it was a tough loss with Stanford on the road in the second round. But, I mean, things are cooking down here, and it's great. And we want SLU to do the same things. Let's keep Missouri soccer great.
Love it.
Well, let's get you on your way. You're welcome back anytime. We'd love to have you. When this game goes home and away year after year, be sure to come and catch us up on under the arch. We've got there's plenty more stories. We'll get you back on the mic soon. But congratulations. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hey, guys, thank you
you,
for
Coach.
coming down to Springfield. Thanks for taking the time out of your schedules to make this happen. Because what you're doing with this podcast is amazing, and it's growing, and it's spreading, and it is incredible to hear how many people talk about it and ask about it.
I love it.
It's buzzing.
It must be all those stickers we put in the bathrooms. All right, we're going to let you go, everybody. We're going to catch you on the flip side here. 0-0, Betty and Bobby Allison Field. We'll see you for the recap. All right, people. We're back.
Ooh, that's heavy.
That's game.
Most
Man.
state SLU on site. Soccer Dad Pod. Have Mike's will travel.
Yeah, I mean, great game, extremely intense, a little chippy there. Our own St. Louis boy, Mr. Jackson Delkus, goes out on a high note, meaning a red card there with about 2 minutes left.
Well, technically, you got the dual yellow.
Yeah, it's tough, 2 yellows with the red, but I mean, what a great game. And just, Jared, I know this was kind of a great homecoming for you as well, but, with Aaron and Coach Leamy, how do you feel right now?
Tying SLU is like kissing your sister. They played 16 times. This game ends in a tie. I would like to know how many ended in a tie.
We got
Here
Coach
comes
Siebold.
Coach Seabolt coming
Here we go.
up.
Let's-
Thank you,
Current
sir.
Coach. Thank you, Coach.
We'll catch you soon.
Yeah. So just to finish that fact, 0-0 tie here in Springfield. I think Missouri State's in the top 15 RPI.
Yep.
I think SLU's in the 50 range. Going on the road for the Billikens out of St. Louis, this is a good result for the Billikens, especially pertaining to their RPI, because I think as it sits right now, they're on the outside looking into the NCAA tournament, and they need some things. They need to go on a run. So overall, good result for SLU. 0-0. There was a lot of chances. Highly athletic game. We saw a high-level soccer game here tonight, boys.
We did, and it was really more of a tale of the two halves. Again, we've said that before in other games, but SLU dominated really, the 90% of the first half, and it was switched in the second half, and Missouri State had several chances, a couple of wide-open goals where they just could not put it away.
Well, I agree. I mean, the quality was top notch. I mean, you're talking about power players. Missouri State in particular. I mean, they're going to enter into the conference playoff season with a high expectation to win the conference. Realistically, all things being equal and staying status quo, they will be in the tournament. SLU's got to fight their way in. It's just kind of what you expect. And for us being homers in this region, this is what we want to see.
Well, you
How-
had mentioned
Yeah.
you mentioned the SLUs specifically their style tonight. I thought SLU, their game plan, and I'll second on what you were saying. You can expand on it, but I thought SLU's game plan was really well done, especially in the middle of the field.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was right. Thank you, by the way. No.
He agrees with you that he was right.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up a little quicker tonight. Everybody's listening. Thank you. We're gonna do more of these games.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's so much fun to come out here.
And we got Coach Stoll coming up from St. Louis University.
Oh, there we go. We're going to talk to him off mic here. Everybody, thank you for listening. Missouri State Bears, check them out. Give them all a follow. This was a Mo State reunion for J-Rod. That was a lot of fun. Soccer Dad Pod, we're going to be back with more on-site games soon, and we've got some amazing guests coming down the pipe that are going to be in studio, so give us a follow. We appreciate all the support. And when we come back next time, we're going to be talking a whole bunch of city. So be good. Take care. Catch you next time.